exactly what you want to see. Let's run this puppy in. Score a touchdown and tie this game. Life, run for your life, touchdown on one play. Worked on this in practice. Touchdown. It's up to Kelvin Benjamin. This is all you, buddy. Kelvin Benjamin for a touchdown. Oh, he toasted his man. Holmes toasted his man. Spin move. Oh! Oh! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the What A Juice channel, and welcome back to another week of NFL recapping. We are going to be recapping the rest of the league action that went down on Sunday. Besides the Patriots and Bucks, obviously. Like we always do. Week number 4 is in the books. Another exciting week. Not as exciting as the previous 3 weeks, at least in my opinion. Probably because I had all this built up anxiety and emotion towards the Sunday night football game. That's probably why it wasn't exciting for me. But other than that, it was a decent day for NFL football. A couple surprising scores, a couple not necessarily disappointing results, but the way the team played probably is more disappointing than the score ended up being. We'll get into all that. Let's start with the Cowboys and the Panthers. A battle of a 3-0 Panthers team versus a somewhat good Cowboys team, or at least people think that they are going to be pretty good this year. And the Cowboys offense, let's just start here. The Cowboys offense is so electric and so dynamic that it's going to be tough for a lot of defenses to stop on a regular basis. They consistently put up 30 plus points a game. It's just so, Dak is so great at pushing the ball up the field and scoring a lot of points. They're such a high-powered offense that the only way you can really beat them is if you have a really good defense and an offense that's going to put up points alongside him to go like back and forth against him. So the Panthers, they couldn't do it even though Sam Darnold rushed for 2 touchdowns to extend his lead as the NFL's leading rusher between quarterbacks and running backs. Like no other player at a quarterback or running back or any position has more rushing touchdowns than Sam Darnold. Who would have thought that going into the season? So Sam Darnold's looking good, even though in the loss, he made some mistakes that flash back to New York Jets, Sam Darnold, but those were few and far between, in my opinion. And I think Sam Darnold still has a really good future in Carolina. It was a tough loss against the Cowboys. You're no longer undefeated, but I think the Panthers have some potential. They're definitely legit. I don't think they're going to be a very dominant team, but I think that they are going to be at least a threat to make it to the NFC divisional. I don't think they'll make it to the NFC championship because there's other teams like the Packers and the Bucks and the Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams, all those other teams that could definitely make it there. That I don't think the Panthers are better than, but Sam Darnold did show me some stuff in that game that shows to me that he's not just some bust in New York. He's not going to be a bust everywhere. It seems like it was just the situation. So, sucks for the Panthers to lose, but good for the Cowboys because it brings their momentum back up. Dak Prescott looks really solid. He looks like a really good quarterback, which I always thought he was. And now he's proving it day in and day out with these high-scoring games. So, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys get a huge W. Now we move on to the Browns and the Vikings, one of the lowest-scoring games of the weekend, probably the lowest-scoring game of the weekend. Browns win 14-7. And they probably shouldn't have won. Let's just be frank right there. The Vikings had at least 2 or 3 opportunities at the end of that game where they should have taken the lead or at least tied it at the least. At least tied the Browns and took it to overtime. But they didn't. And Kirk Cousins struggled in the pressure situations. Now Baker Mayfield didn't look good either. But that Browns defense is legit. Like, Myles Garrett is the real deal. I know we already knew that, but this game against the Vikings just proved it even more, that Myles Garrett is that guy. Like, you don't want to go up against Myles Garrett. You don't want to have to block Myles Garrett because he is unblockable, basically. And the Vikings just couldn't do anything. Dalvin Cook was really non-existent. Kirk Cousins choked in the pressure moments, and the Browns end up escaping. I say escaping because they should have lost that game, but they escape with the victory 14-7, even if Baker didn't look good. I thought this was going to be the day that they lose a game. Well, they already lost to the Chiefs, but I thought this was going to be a day that they lose to a team that's worse than them, but it wasn't. They ended up escaping, and that's what good teams do. And good teams find ways to win even when they're supposed to lose or they should have lost the game. So Browns are a good team. Baker needs to look a little bit better, but all in all, the Browns get the W. That's all that matters. Bears and Lions. Justin Fields gets his first win in the NFL as a starter. Congratulations to him. I love to see it. The Bears win 24-14 against the Lions. That defense for Chicago is unstoppable, bro. They are so fast, so intense, so athletic. It's crazy. Roquan Smith is a demon. And plus, the play of the weekend happened in this game. So Jared Goff was in the shotgun trying to audible the play, make decisions, make calls and stuff. He was looking the other way, and the center for some reason snapped it because he must have thought that he called a snap. And it bounced off of Jared Goff's thigh hip area, bounced off of him, goes over the right guard's head onto the defensive side of the line of scrimmage and falls into the hands of a defensive lineman. I've never seen a play like that happen before. I've never seen a turnover happen like that before. I've seen a lot of bad snaps from centers, and I've seen a lot of centers snap it and it deflect off the quarterback, but I've never seen it deflect off and go into the hands of a defensive lineman over the head of somebody else. That was pretty crazy. We'll probably never see that again, or if we do, it'll be very rare occasion, but it was a crazy play. Justin Fields looked good. He had some flashes of brilliance. I'll say that. He had some great throws. He was playing the Lions, which I'll give him that. I'll give the haters that he was playing the Lions. The Lions aren't very good. But he got his win. That's all that really matters. All that really matters. And for the next game, the Bills and Texans, this was just a whitewash. It was over. Bills win 40-0. There's not really much to say. It was a sloppy game. A lot of weather factor in this. It was raining for most of the game. Davis Mills. I got a special place in the heart for Davis Mills because of our Chicago Cougars franchise that we're doing on the channel. But in real life, Davis Mills is not a good quarterback. It's just I don't care if he's a rookie. I don't care if this is his second game. He's not good. It's just a fact. Davis Mills is not a good quarterback. And so the Bills took advantage of that. Josh Allen didn't even really play well at the beginning. And they still shut out the Texans. Texans are a bad team. We all knew that going in. Their win early in the season was kind of a fluke. I would guess because Tyrod Taylor was there, and Tyrod Taylor is, I guess, makes this offense different than Davis Mills, which is understandable because Tyrod Taylor is very, very athletic and can make plays happen. But if they're not going to have Tyrod Taylor, I don't think they do well even if they do have Tyrod Taylor, but they probably don't get shut out, and they definitely don't win this game, but who knows what's going to happen later on in the season. This Texas team is really bad regardless of Tyrod Taylor being there or not, and the Bills just exposed it, and Davis Mills is just he's not good. that's just it's very simple answer for why the Texans are not going to be good this year, because if Davis Mills is playing, they're not going to win because Davis Mills is just not good. He had 4 interceptions in the game, and he makes bad decisions because he's young and he's never played before, and he's a bad quarterback. So the Bills win 40-0, easy dubs. Then you got the Colts and the Dolphins. Now, this was supposed to be a Jacoby Brissett revenge game for the Dolphins, as he used to play for the Colts. But it turned out to be a Jacoby Brissett, I wish you weren't my starting quarterback day for the Miami Dolphins, because he made a couple mistakes that ended up costing them in the end. He had a fumble that was very costly, and the Colts defense actually showed up for once this season. They haven't showed up at all at the beginning of the year, and now they finally get their first win by beating a hapless Dolphins team that just can't seem to find their way without Tua. And even before when they had Tua, they were struggling a little bit. But 27-17 is the final score. Dolphins are struggling. The AFC East is very weird right now because the Bills are at the top and the rest is tied for second, I guess you could say, with everyone being 1-3, including the Jets, which we'll get to in a second. But oh man, it is a wild, wild scene in the AFC East, that's for sure. Chiefs and Eagles, we knew this was going to happen. The Chiefs have been struggling early part of the season, but we knew they're going up against the Eagles. Eagles are bad, really bad. You could say what you want against when the Eagles played the Cowboys last week and they kind of put up a fight. What does that say about the Cowboys defense? I don't know, but the Eagles they're bad. They're not a good football team. Jalen Hurts, you can think that Jalen Hurts might be a starting quarterback in this league, and he might be. He hasn't played very much as a starting quarterback. He's still getting used to it. He's still developing. He's still learning. I understand all that. The Eagles are just not a good football team. And the Chiefs are. The Chiefs are a really good football team. Tyreek Hill, 3 touchdowns. I think he had 180-something yards receiving. Patrick Mahomes had 5 touchdowns in the game. It was a slaughter. And the Chiefs got back on track. They got their momentum back. And I could have bet my whole entire life. I would have bet my soul that the Chiefs were going to win this game. There was no way they were going to lose to the Eagles. So, because the Eagles are bad. 42-30 is the score. The score looks closer than it actually was. It was not a close game for very long. The Eagles scored a couple garbage time touchdowns, I think. And they end up getting a closer score, but the game was not very close. Chiefs dominated the whole time. Then we go to Giants and Saints, our first of 2 overtime games that we were treated to yesterday. Or 2 days ago, I should say, at this point. Giants and Saints. Giants do get their first win of the season, 27-21 in overtime. Saquon Barkley is a dog. Like a straight D-A-double-G. That's Dag. D-A-W-G. He's a dog because he caught the game-winning touchdown in overtime to win the game for the Giants. The Saints, I don't know what to make of the Saints because I don't think they're very good, but then you get a week where they come out and they beat the Patriots, or they come out and they blow out the Packers in week 1. Like, I don't know what to think of the Saints. Are they good? Are they decent? Or are they just not a good team? And teams are just, the opposing teams are trying to figure them out. I don't know what to think of them because you lose to an 0-3, now 1-3 Giants team in overtime. You should have blown them out. You should have, if you're beating teams like the Packers and Patriots, you should blow out a team like the Giants, and yet you get taken to the limit with the Giants and end up losing that game. Like, I don't know what to make of the Saints team. They're very confusing. I still don't believe in Jameis Winston. I knew this going into the season that Jameis Winston is not a good quarterback, but he's a better quarterback than Taysom Hill. I still believe that, even though Taysom Hill has shown some flashes. I've said this in previous videos. Taysom Hill is not a quarterback. He is an athlete. And he does good in that role. I'm not saying he's not good at that role. He's very, very talented at that role. But he is not a quarterback. And you don't have a good quarterback on your roster. You have to go with Jameis Winston. He's the better of 2 evils. And he's not that good. So I don't know what the Saints are going to do. They're in a bad spot. And they lose again. Lose to the Giants in overtime. Should never have been in that situation. Should have closed it a long time ago. But they ended up losing anyway. Football team and the Falcons. Football team win 34-30. Falcons should have won this game. They definitely should have. Cordell Patterson had like 3 receiving touchdowns in this game. But the Falcons are just not good. We talk about this every week. I bring this up every single week, and I don't care that the Falcons beat I think they played the Giants last week and got their first win. But I don't care if they get a win. I don't care what. The Falcons are not good. How many times we had to talk about this? Matt Ryan is not good. You can argue that he was never good, but he is not good anymore. This offense is just bad. The defense is quick, but they're not really dynamic. They're not really good. It's kind of like a facade. It's kind of like you're seeing a mirage in like a desert when you're dehydrated and you want water, and you see like a mirage of a pond or a body of water with a tree and some shade. It's kind of like that. You think the Falcons offense is good, but then reality strikes and they're not a good team. And the football team's defense has been getting lit up. They've been getting torched a little bit the past couple of weeks. especially by Buffalo. And it didn't end with the Falcons. Falcons did put the ball in the end zone a lot against this defense, which we all thought was going to be a really good defense, but they have definitely been struggling. Chase Young has not been getting the pressure that I thought he was going to be getting. I'm assuming he's getting double teamed, which is understandable, but they do end up getting the win anyway. Taylor Heinicke, I don't think is that good, but he has been playing above his level. I would give him that. He's not gonna, I don't think, consistently gonna be good. There's a reason he's a backup, okay? I say this all the time with guys like Nick Foles or anybody of that nature. There's a reason he's a backup. There's a reason they chose Ryan Fitzpatrick over him in camp, in practice. He's not good, but he's definitely, I'll give him the credit of him playing above himself for these past couple of weeks. So they do get the win. Good win for them. The Jets and the Titans are second of 2 overtime games. Both New York teams went to overtime, and both New York teams won. The Jets actually beat the Titans 27-24 on a game-winning field goal to win. Or no. Was it a game-winning field goal for the Jets, or was it a game-missing field goal by the Titans? I can't remember to be exact. But it might have been a game-losing field goal by missing it for the Titans, I think. But the Jets get the win. Zach Wilson struggled, but he did show some flashes of him being a very good quarterback in this league. I've mentioned this before. I always do the comparison of Zach Wilson and Kyler Murray because they're both kind of smaller, kind of slightly built, and I think that they could possibly be a similar quarterback. I think Kyler Murray is slightly better than Zach Wilson, but Zach Wilson did show some flashes against this Titans team, which I don't know if his Titans are very good this year. We all came in thinking, and I even came in thinking, that the Titans were going to be this dominant team that was going to take the Bills to the limit and take the Chiefs to the limit and be one of the top 3 teams in the AFC. I don't know if I think that anymore. I mean, Derrick Henry obviously is a god. I love Derrick Henry. He's still really good. He had a quiet day, but still got over 100 yards. And I just don't know if I believe. And yes, A.J. Brown was hurt. Julio Jones was hurt. They were both inactive for the game. Does that make much of a difference? Yeah, probably. The Titans probably win that game if both Julio and A.J. Brown are there. Or at least if one of them is there. But I don't know if I believe in this team. I don't know if I believe in Ryan Tannehill. I definitely don't believe in this Titans defense. And I don't know, man. It's a weird situation that we're put in with the Titans because at the beginning of the season, we thought they were going to be really good, top 3 team in the AFC, and now they are struggling to beat teams. They can't even beat teams like the Titans, or like the Jets, excuse me. They can't even beat teams like the Jets. So, I don't know, man. Maybe they'll bounce back next week. I just don't know if I believe in this team as much as I did previously. So, Cardinals and Rams, talk about a shocking result. Everybody was coming off of the Rams team that just beat the Buccaneers last week, thinking that the Rams are going to be Super Bowl contenders. And now they go and they play Arizona at home in LA, and they get beat 37-20 by Kyler Murray? What are we talking about? Is Arizona the best team in the league now? What are we supposed to take away from this? Do we just take away that the Cardinals are really good and the Rams had a bad day? I think Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald both got hurt in this game. I'm not 100% sure if that happened, but I think I heard something where it happened. I kind of faded from this game once the 4 o'clock game started, the afternoon games. So Cardinals get the win. Kyler looked good. This offense looks very dynamic, and the Rams just didn't really get off to a consistent start. I guess they didn't play well. Matt Stafford didn't play well. The offense didn't play well. The defense didn't play well. That's just, what are you going to say? It's early in the season, and they just had a bad game. I don't think that we should overreact and think the Cardinals are going to be like the dominant team in the NFC this year, but I also don't think we should overreact and think that the Rams are going to be just like a 2-win football team or a 3-win football team or something. So Cardinals get the win 37-20. I think we can take a chill pill on both these teams. Seahawks and 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo goes out in the first half. Trey Lance gets to come out and start the second half. Did he look good? At times. But Seahawks get the win 28-21. A lot of injuries for this 49ers team, just like they have for the past couple of seasons. The 49ers are one of, if not the most injured team for some reason every year. I don't know if it's the training that they do or the conditioning or the fields that they play on. I don't know if they need to rework the field turf at their stadium, but they just get hurt all the time, and they're so inconsistent with you don't know who's going to be healthy. Jimmy Garoppolo's got a history of injuries. They've lost a ton of running backs in this game, or in this season, I should say, and Seahawks took advantage of that. Trey Lance looked at times good, at times like a rookie quarterback. And I don't want the 49ers to think that Trey Lance is better than Jimmy Garoppolo, because he's not. Not at this point, he's not. And yes, I know that Jimmy Garoppolo is always injured, but if this is not a serious injury, if he can come back next week even, Jimmy Garoppolo should be the starting quarterback because he gives you the best chance to win these games. So I just want to say, I just don't think that Trey Lance is ready at this point. So Seahawks get the win, and 49ers need to get healthy again. Ravens, Broncos. Broncos lose their first game of the season. We knew this was going to happen. I didn't believe in the Broncos even when they were 3-0. They played nobody, and they did win 3 games because they played nobody. Teddy Bridgewater goes out in this game with a concussion. Drew Lock came in and looked like Drew Lock, which is not a good player. And Broncos lose. They are not undefeated anymore. Ravens get a big win. 23-7 was the final. Lamar Jackson played good. People were questioning if he was even going to play because of that somersault that he did at the end of the what game was that where he did the somersault? Was that against the Chiefs? I can't remember what that was against, who that was against. But he did a somersault. He hurt his back on the somersault, and people were questioning if he's going to play. He did play, and he played well. This Broncos team is not good. I knew that going into the season. I was not fazed by their 3-0 start because they played nobody, and now they actually played somebody, and they lost. So take what you want from that. The Broncos are not a good team. Steelers and Packers, talk about not good teams. Steelers lose again. Big Ben is not good. I've been talking about this for 2 years now, how Big Ben is not good anymore. Aaron Rodgers looked good. Devontae Adams looked good. This Packers defense looked good. It's hard to not look good when you're playing the Steelers because they cannot run the football. They cannot throw the football. Their offense is garbage. Ben Roethlisberger cannot move. He needs a motorized vehicle just to move around the field because he cannot move anymore. He is old. He is bad. And this Steelers team is not going to go anywhere with Ben Roethlisberger as their starting quarterback. So have fun, Steelers fans. Have fun watching your team crumble because Big Ben will not give up the starting spot. So, and I'm not saying that Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins are your option at quarterback. You don't have, in my opinion, you don't have a starting quarterback or a replacement on this roster at currently constructed. So you're in a bad spot. But Big Ben definitely needs to give that up, and he will not. I know that. You're just in a bad. I feel bad for you, Steelers fan. You're in a bad spot. Ben is not good. So they lose again, and they're probably going to lose a lot more this season. So they lose, and then we aren't going to talk about the Raiders or the Patriots and Bucks because I already talked about that in yesterday's video. So we aren't going to get into that. I already gave my feelings on that game. I will recap it. 19-17 Bucks win on a last second missed field goal by Nick Folk. But you guys can go hear my reaction to that game if you haven't already in yesterday's video. I'm recording this before the Raiders and Chargers game because I just don't have time to record it after the game. So I don't know what happened between the Raiders and Chargers. My prediction is the Raiders win to stay undefeated. But I don't know. Justin Herbert looks kind of good. I don't know if he's going to have the juice to be able to beat the Raiders. I'm going to pick the Raiders to win. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Make sure to leave your reactions down below. Leave your comments about if you think that some team should have won or you thought you were shocked that the result of something happened. Let me know down below what you guys thought of NFL Sunday this week. Week 4 is about to be in the books with Monday Night Football tonight. Tomorrow's episode will probably be, probably the defensive video like that I was gonna do last week before the Josh Gordon thing happened. So I'll probably do that. Make sure you guys stick around for that. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Hit that like button as well. Join the Juice Club. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.